Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Do you have a vertical shaft Karcher pressure washer where the pump is weak? Well, today I'm here with this Karcher Performance Series Plus 2800 with the Honda vertical shaft GCV160 engine, and I'm going to show you the #1 problem that exists when you've got the low pressure coming out of these Karcher vertical shaft pressure washers. Specifically in this video, I'm going to show you how to uninstall the unloader valve, service it if you can, and then reinstall it. If yours is faulty, you're going to have to reinstall a brand new one. So let's get into it. So what we're going to do next is to actually check the pump, which is a vertical pump off of this vertical shaft mower. So to get to the pump, we're going to tip this pressure washer onto its back. Now you have to be really careful with 4-stroke engines, so we'll just show you the correct procedure now. So we've got it switched off, and what we want to do is make sure all the valves are closed. So we just pull the engine over. You can feel that's now gone on the compression stroke. It's gone click click, but if you go all the way through, the motor goes really loose. We come again and you go click, and a second time, and the valves are now fully closed. Now that's important because we don't want the crankcase oil to come up the other side of the piston and out into the carburetor. The other thing we want to do is to make sure we tip it up like this. So we haven't tipped it over onto the side with the carburetor down, but rather we've just laid the engine on its back. Now we can get to the pump and inspect what's going on there. So with the pressure washer on its back, let's first get the thermal relief valve out. That's with a 19mm spanner, and then once this is out and out of the way, we should be able to get the unloader valve out. So get this threaded out all the way, just like this, and then that pops out. You can see that little spring on it, and then we need to get some pointing those pliers onto that unloader valve. So unfortunately, this large wheel on this particular model of pressure washer is just infringing us to be able to get on to that unloader valve. You can see the length there required, and it's a press fitting to get that wheel on, so you can't get them off easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to remove the mounting bolts to the engine, so we can just twist it slightly in there so we can get onto that unloader valve. So let's get that undone. Because this is quite a firm line on the pressure side, I might just undo this fitting here, which will just allow us to rotate that pump around as well. So you can see now that I've undone those bolts, I can just manipulate the engine now, and I can get onto this unloader valve in here on a straight angle. And let's see if we can actually turn it to get that unloader valve out. And there we go, got that unloader valve out there. So with the unloader valve removed, we've just cleaned a little bit of debris off of it, but we want to check the operation that it can actually compress. Now, this one actually does now appear to be compressing. So what we want to do is just to lubricate it and to reinstall it. So we'll use some silicone grease on the inside, and Karcher actually recommend some Teflon grease on the outer seal. So we've got some high temp grease we'll put on the outer seal there, and we'll make sure it's nice and loose, and we'll actually operate when we put it back in. So let's start with the silicone grease on the inner edge there. So just make sure we've got just a nice amount of that silicone grease there. So good operation. And then we'll get some of the high temperature grease on the outer side. Just like that. And then let's reinstall that straight away into position there. So I just push that all the way in with our pliers there, and then we might just pop some high temperature grease on this seal as well. Just grab our glove and just smear a little bit in there. Perfect. And let's just pop that back in straight away. So with the unloader valve freed up, greased, reinstalled, and that thermal relief valve reinstalled, let's get the motor mounted back up onto the pressure washer. So there you go, folks. That's how to find the unloader valve, uninstall it, service it, and reinstall it on your vertical shaft Kärcher pressure washer. So if you have liked this video, give us a like, drop us a comment down below. It's truly appreciated. And in the future, if you're interested in learning more about DIY maintenance and repairs, we do a number of small engine videos, lawnmowers, pressure washers, got some generators coming up in the future, but also we maintain and service a number of vehicles on the channel. We've got a Mercedes, ML Class, an Audi A3, Mazda 3, Holden Radio pops in occasionally, little Barina. So there really is something for everyone on the channel. So if you're interested in any of that content, do subscribe to the channel. But until next time, have a good evening.